Hey guys, good evening. So we've had baby chicks in the basement for, I think we're going on 4 weeks. And it's getting to the point now where they just stink. When you have got 28 chickens in the basement, um, it's time to start moving them out outside so that way the fresh smell of ammonia doesn't come through the basement door. So right now we're going to be putting out a heat lamp in the chicken tractor I have. We're going to insulate it with some straw bales and hold the heat in a little bit better. And then I'm also going to line the back with a insulation bubble wrap to just kind of stop the draft from going in. So I've got to hook up that stuff. So we have the chicken tractor right here. So right there I have the straw bales. I'm going to spread them out a little bit. I just don't want them to be able to squeeze through and get lost. And then what I'm going to do next is hook up a lamp coming down to kind of sit right there to make it warm. And then we're also going to do the insulation on the back. Hopefully it keeps everybody nice and warm tonight. They're pretty much mostly feathers. There's a couple of them still missing some feathers, but at this point I think they'll be good to go. So I'm just going to walk into the garage now and basically run an extension cord while the kids play on the trampoline. So if you hear the springs in the back, that's what that is. So what I'll do is I'll run a 100-foot extension cord out with a 250-watt bulb onto the chickens. So what's nice about my garage is there is a outlet. I can literally run right outside, straight out to the chicken coop. And be able to keep an eye on the heat there. Yeah. Alright, so now we're going to go into the other chicken run that I have with these guys. And run that cord to the chicken coop. And what this one does is it's nice is you pretty much just move it daily. And then that way any of the poop is left behind. We rake it up, throw it into a pile, and then throw it into our mulch pile. Alright, so we're going to run it. Actually, I'm going to run it over the wires, or the cords. We have string in here to actually help stop hawks. So like I said, we have the ropes. I said untangle the extension cord before I put it out. So we put ropes, and normally we've had maybe 1 or 2 a year picked off by the hawks. But this year we did a decoy hawk, and then we did the ropes crisscrossing across it. So that way the hawk has no way of, I guess, thinking he can get out of here. So yeah, it's, like I said, worked really well this year, so we've had really good success with it. And we actually have more chickens this year than we did last year. So we have Rhode Island Reds, we have Buffs, we have Easter Eggers, Barred Rocks. Easter Eggers are those tiny little guys over there. And then I have my dog Odin in the background freaking out because he wants a chicken. And the thing I love about the chickens is, so we have 16 of them, and we have 4 that are a little bit older, so they don't quite produce as well as they used to years ago. And as they've gotten older, the shell of their eggs has kind of gotten a little softer, even with calcium supplements. But right now, 16 chickens, we get about 10 eggs a day, which is phenomenal, as long as you're creative with making meals with eggs. All right, so we have the... That's not the light bulb, keep it in there. That was for another thing. So the bulb we have will be this 250 watt. This thing pumps out heat, which is definitely crucial to keep these guys warm. Keeping them warm, they gain weight a lot quicker too, because then they're not focusing so much on keeping warm. They're focusing on growing body weight. So we'll hook that up, run the extension cord through, and I'll show you the setup. So this is going to be the setup. I still have to put a clamp up above to anchor that light on there. We're going to put a thermometer in there to measure how warm or cold that is. And that way we can make sure that the birds are keeping warm enough. Now, I know what a lot of people are thinking is, why the heck would you get chickens this late if you're going up into cold weather? Well, with the pandemic that was going on and the meat shortages and produce shortages potential that were happening, you just couldn't find chickens anywhere. So we ordered them, and this is actually the soonest that we could get them, about a month ago. So we kind of just got what we could at that point, and we've already made pre-orders for chickens and for seeds and everything like that to go for next year in case there is a shortage. With this winter coming up, you never know what's going to happen at this point. So it's better to just be prepared and not have to worry about it. All right, so I kind of have to work with what I've got, and I'm just going to use 2 of these clips and basically create a loop around one and then clamp it in place with the other one. What's nice is even if it's too cold, I still have a second heat lamp that's on the brooder that they're in right now. So like I said, that'll make things nice and toasty warm in case it's too cold. It's only supposed to get in the probably high 40s at night, at least for the next week. So by the time it's getting into the 30s, they'll be fully feathered and ready to go. All right, so like I said, I create a loop with the one and then clamp the other one into place. And this allows me to lower it or raise it, depending on what I need to do for temperature. I have a feeling that it's probably going to have to be, although I don't know, might not be too bad. The thing that I learned with the Cornish crosses is that they pack a lot of heat into their little bodies. There's been times where you pick them up and it's almost like you're feeling like you're getting burned on your hands, which is crazy. They're nice little heat warmers for your hands. All right, so it's moving day. So last night we decided we're going to let them weather over a day, during the day actually, in the outside coop before putting them right out at about 6 o'clock at night when it starts to get cold. So right now it's about 45, 50 degrees outside. We have the heat lamp in there, and then we have the bell. So it should keep them nice and warm in there, keep the heat as nice as it's going to be. It's just going to be an interesting learning curve to move the chicken tractor with the bales in it. So what I'm trying to do is I'm going to set it up in the front half. And basically, so this way allows us to move the chicken tractor up, and then allows us to kind of just slide the bales of hay underneath that wood that supports everything. After this year, what I'll be doing is building a much lower profile and not the giant A-frame, because it has just a bunch of unnecessary wood weight that can be a little bit difficult to move. Alright, so this is their final spot. We condensed them all into one, so it's just easier to catch them. So what we're going to do now is, and the reason why these guys need to go outside is this is literally, we changed this yesterday, and that's how messy they are already. So we're going to basically just pile them into a tote and take them out into the tractor, and that way we don't have to worry about them smelling up the basement anymore. Not even that bad.
Alright, birdies, on to the good life. Fresh air. How's the temp out here?
Pretty good.
Well, hello.
So the only thing I'll probably have to do is expand how big those hay bales are.
Yeah, and that's fine. I mean, because you can tip them up on their side.
Yeah. Yeah, chick, 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 chick. The only downfall of these Easter eggers is, like everybody said, they're flighty birds. So they tend to vacate this run as soon as they can. But as long as I can coax her back into the open area, then come on. Nope. Alright. Stacy is the pain in the butt one all the time. Come on. Get. Oh, you got her? And this is Stacy, the one that always gets out. She's a pretty girl, but mean looking thing.
She's a sweetheart.
Alright, so this is the first round of 3. So this is the first 9 of them in here. We'll go get the other 28 or 29, or no, 19 or 18 of them, and we'll go from there. Alright, we're on batch number 2, out to the yard in the chicken tote.
Gosh, there are.
Alright, so this is number 3, the last final load. So they're all out. I'll be gutting that once we're done here. We're upgrading the water just because this one we were going through like 2 or 3 times a day. So Alena, my wife, got a 5-gallon one, and we're going to put that in there. And then the feed we're going to start restricting tonight anyways and switch them to a higher protein food to kind of pack a little bit more weight on them and help with the warmth of their body temperature while they're outside.
Their wings are still so short that even when you try to like grab them, they can get them out.
Goes to show how much they poop.
We may end up having to move these guys twice a day.
Oh yeah, definitely.
This one's up compared to the rest of them.
Alright, so there's all 27 of them. Originally made an order for 25. They sent 2 extras, which they usually do, which is nice. So I think we're up in the 60s for meat birds this year for how many we're doing. So we're just going to get the feed and waters and be good to go. Alright, so we're going to go get the chicken water. I really like this one. Sorry if the lighting's horrible. But it's a 5-gallon, which makes it a lot nicer, and it actually fills from the top as well too. So here it is. So it's a 5-gallon. You can unscrew it from the top. And fill it from there, which is really nice. Gotta make sure the bottom's locked, because if you pick this up, it's gonna be a mess. Alright, so we have everybody in here. We have the water, the food. Like I said, we pretty much just fill the food all day long until nighttime. And then we pretty much take the feeder out and then start them again in the morning. And this way they don't gain too much weight too quickly. So they stay healthy and there's not any issues with their legs or anything like that.